What's up everyone, this is Donnie aka Elevated, and in this TI9 team preview, we're going to be taking a look at the cliff notes of the season by Evil Geniuses. For a team like Evil Geniuses with such a star-studded roster, there is no other way to classify this DPC season than as a disappointment. And it's only because of the caliber of team and player that we're talking about here that we can make that statement. They took 3rd at the Kuala Lumpur Major, 3rd at the Chinese Major, 7th to 8th at Dream League, back when Sumail was relegated to basically only picking Viper. They took 3rd at MDL, and then they finished not so strong at Epicenter with a 13th to 16th place. But when you have a team comprised of TI and major winners, it's pretty hard to stomach not winning anything. In fact, it's been a year since EG won a single big tournament. The EG brand of Dota is a very consistently good, very stable style of play, and everything from their drafts to their laning, rotations, and overall strategy is well thought out and meticulously planned. But they seem to have fallen into this strange kind of gatekeeper role for the top echelon of teams, because they rarely beat the likes of VP, Liquid, or Secret, but they pretty much handle their business against the rest of the Dota scene, aside from that one loss to OG in the lower bracket at the Epicenter Major. And considering that you could probably make the argument that they have a top 3 player at every single one of their positions, it's not that surprising that they are able to put out such a consistently good brand of Dota. But for the EG faithful, it has been a year of almost, and you know that for a brand like Evil Geniuses, that's not going to be good enough. So what is it that's actually holding this talented and incredibly experienced roster back from reaching their full potential? Some people might point to the meta, and for the earlier parts of the DPC season, you might be right. Sumail was not really able to play a lot of his classic aggressive mid heroes because that's just not what was popular, that's not what teams were running. And so it did seem like maybe he wasn't quite on top of his game on these heroes that don't really function in the way that he likes to play Dota. But I think the biggest thing is that if you look back at all of the majors, they were eliminated by Virtus Pro, Liquid, or Secret in 4 out of the 5. And in most cases, they were knocked from the upper bracket to the lower bracket where they then got eliminated by one of these 3 teams. And one thing becomes incredibly clear from watching EG play, and it is the meticulous nature in which they approach the game. Everything feels very choreographed, very planned out, and it really does feel as though almost all of their games follow a pretty similar script. And so you're going to get these incredibly good games from Arteezy and Sumail when everything goes to plan. But this becomes predictable, and if you're facing one of the best teams in the world, a VP, a Liquid, or a Secret, they're going to be able to adapt, and they're going to be able to pull out something new, or change how they're playing the game to take advantage of the style that EG likes to play. And often that means playing faster, playing more aggressively, pressuring earlier. And the results show that EG just simply hasn't been able to adapt as quickly as these other 3 teams. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how the meta develops at TI and see whether EG is going to be able to pull out something new, whether they have any new tricks up their sleeve when they're facing up against the best teams in the world. But you know, EG is hungry as hell for this title, and you know that Fly desperately needs to claim his own TI championship after watching his former team OG win last year. And certainly Arteezy, he needs this for his resume, Crit as well, and Sumail and S4 would love to be the first 2 players to win 2 TIs. And the meta might very well be conspiring to give EG a shot, because right now, there are a lot of these very hard farming, greedy cores being played in the safe lane, and that is exactly how Arteezy likes to play. The Alchemists, the Nagas, Arc Wardens, and Lunas are right in his wheelhouse. And at the same time, the mid lane meta is starting to open up and allow for a lot more variety. We're seeing a ton of aggressive heroes being picked lately, and heroes like Leshrac, Puck, Nina, Queen of Pain, and Ember Spirit are all things that Sumail thrives on, in addition to the classic Storm that he's known for. We are also starting to see quite a bit of tri-laning coming back into the meta, and sometimes it's aggressive, sometimes it's defensive, but that will inevitably lead to roaming also returning, and that is where Crit is at his best. That is where Crit broke onto the scene with OG, with those Tusks and Tinies, Earth Spirits and Rubiks, Dark Willows, and even the occasional Pudge. Crit is at his best when he is causing havoc during the laning stage and setting his team up for a very strong transition into the mid game. And in contrast, Fly is well known for playing very defensive supports, which are perfect to pair with the current style of safe lane hero. It would be a pretty remarkable story if EG's only tournament win for the entire year was the International. They certainly have the talent to do it, but will they be able to finally overcome their peers and reclaim their spot atop the Dota 2 scene?